Hey guys. All right, so tonight I'm going to read you my fairy tale. And this part of it, now it's a much larger one because, well, these people are crazy. Anyway, this is just the intro. This is the first chapter, little book for the overall fairy tale of the GEMS scheme. Now, once we get into the game, I'm going to go over all the little schemes that I have figured out. But in the meantime, this Little Me discovers democracy again. This should be a little reminder for all of you of the way that our system actually works. And if you're wondering how it works, basically, people keep trying to run our country as if it's a large business. Now, certainly, the people who are at the head of our governments are supposed to know a little bit of business, have some basic understandings of it. However, you run a country like a household, not a business. And if you're wondering why I say that, well, we all live here. And last time I looked, we don't produce a product where we have to worry about profit and loss and all that. No, we have resources and we have things that generate tax revenue, which is really what these people are after. Because if you take off your political lenses and you start looking at the things that they're doing, they're stealing a tax revenue. They've been doing this over and over again, and especially when the Republicans get into office and they're in charge. These tax cuts, how many of you have realized these rich people are not paying taxes? We're paying their portion of it to run this country. And they keep trying to say, oh, we need to cut budgets. What budgets? Ask them, what budgets are they cutting? If you notice, the budgets they're cutting are really those that go to either social programs that help the people who live here, and also to the regulatory agencies that keep them in check. So, if you want to keep your democracy and actually make sure that it runs properly, we have to put people in who care about the people, not how much money is in their own bank account, the people themselves. Because when we're all making money, when we're all prosperous, everybody makes money, especially the rich folks. So, in the meantime, this is just the beginning of it, and I will have a whole bunch of other stories and other things to entertain you all with, and hopefully help us get back on track to where we're supposed to be as a country. I've had the privilege of growing up and actually seeing a lot of changes over the years, from us going from a divided country where there was a lot of racism, sexism, classism. We still have a bit of it, and unfortunately, you're watching people put it back in. But I'll explain even more about that a little bit later. So, in the meantime, check out the video, and then you guys leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And we'll get into the game after that. So, here it is. Little Me discovers democracy again. Oh, one thing, let me explain one thing. Demo, which is short for democracy, this is what I would say our democracy looks like if he were a character. This is Demo, and that's Little Me. And Little Me is Little Me, my inner child. But this is a three-sided pyramid. And why? Democracy breaks down into a trinity, and that's the education, science, and art. But again, let's just get into the fairy tale, and that'll all be explained there. So, enjoy. Beginning, Little Me discovers democracy again. When there was a little Me, she was born into democracy. The kind of place you want to stay, where all the kids play every day, together. When democracy was taken away, a dark, ominous cloud moved in for a stay. Everyone screamed and ran to hide. While little Me's mom took her inside. Quick, turn on the news. Hey, what's going on? On the breaking news is the new mayor, Racist Ron. Racist Ron says, there's only one thing I need to say to you. The commies are coming and it's end of days too. It's gonna rain, probably snow, and scarier things you don't want to know. Whatever you do, stay inside. In fact, you should all quickly hide. We've got it all covered. There's nothing to see. Just stay inside. It should pass in a week. Now, for 7 days and 7 nights, that dark cloud wouldn't go away. Bombastic thunder the whole world must hear. And so they all stayed inside, frozen with fear. What is this terror? Let's look. Let's not. You know what happens if we get caught. So they all stayed inside. No one looked out to see. That is, all except for little me. Looks like a storm, but there's no rain. Maybe a tornado? Doesn't sound like a train. Something was calling for help, you see, but the only one who heard it was little me. While everyone else hid, little me looked around. From the tallest of buildings, she looked up, she looked down, and then she finally heard that sound. Out of the darkness a shadow did emerge, spouting shouts and sounds in an unearthly purge. The terror was immense, so little me dove for cover. Into the nook behind the daisies, a cloud of dust rising above her. Don't dare move, her brain did say. Something scary's coming our way. But when she peeped out, it wasn't a storm. Instead, it was something very wrong. Hey, stop that! Cried little me as she jumped out from her hiding spot, only to see one man fighting another, or at least that's what she thought. Upon seeing little me, the big man took flight, and before she knew it, he was gone from sight. Then suddenly, the clouds broke away, and just beneath a tree, shimmering plain as day, lifeless he laid what looked like a little boy. No, it's not. Maybe a game, or maybe a toy. Twisted and buckled, this sweet little thing. Little me picked it up, then her ears began to ring. It hurts, please stop, she yelped as she dropped it in the dirt. I just wanted to help, but that really hurt. Suddenly the toy began to move about, its face twisting and contorting as if trying to shout. Standing back for a moment, she began to see a name missing letters that begins with a D. A few more turns, with a twist here and there, and suddenly a shout fills the air. Free at last! Free at last! Thank you for stopping him. So long has passed. Ever since that fateful day when they took all of my words away. They've beaten me and battered me and then put me in a cage, twisted my meaning and made me engage with systems that were meant to tear me apart. They took some of my memory and tried to remove my heart. There's so much more, I just don't remember where to start. Oh, I did hear some guys make a bet, but all the trauma has made me forget. I'll help you. I will, I promise, said little me. We'll find your name and set your mind free. On the way home, little me looked for the rest of his name. Don't bother looking, Demo said. A guy named Ron brought this shame. He took that part long before he came back for it all, but ran away fast when he heard your call. What are you? She asked. I hope you don't mind. I wish I could tell you. That's the truth I must find. I'll take you to my parents. They're really smart. They'll know the rest of that name above your heart. Little me took her new friend home. As soon as little me opened the door, her mother, from worry, passed out on the floor. Her dad rushed over and held little me real tight. Where have you been? We have been worried all night. I'm just fine, and I brought back a friend. Is it okay if Demo comes in? Of course he can, sweetie, but first there's one thing you must do. Go get the smelling salts so we can bring your mom too. And with a dip and a dash, they woke Mom up. And after some words, it all ended up with hugs. Your friend is different, familiar but strange. Could you look at him closely? He can't remember his name. Shave off his name, I heard them say, to make me think I was born this way. I know it says demo, but that can't be. No matter what they say, it doesn't sound right to me. So Dad looked real close, and Mom looked close too, but neither one knew just what to do. You're not quite a person. No, that I am not. I wish I could tell you more, but my memory's shot. This looks like a system that used to be, but it's not a word I thought I would ever see again. Not in my lifetime, because when they took it away and made it a word we should never say, Mom remembers the monkey on the shelf. Cute costume, kid. Now, honey, get a hold of yourself. Don't say that word, only trouble will come from dreams of life in the sun. She closed all the windows. Then to Demo she whispers real low, hide in the bathroom. I don't want you to go. Come with me, little one. Time for bed. You've had enough fun. But what about my friend, Little Me demanded to know. If you won't help him, I'm going to go. Oh, don't worry. Go to sleep so we can get a good start. To go to the store and replace those letters missing over his heart. Mom said, yes, Little Me. We're going to help him. And in the morning, off to the store they went, Mom and Little Me. Then back with the letters, then back home with the letters, and then Mom put Demo to sleep. Before they all knew it, Mom took Demo apart, then soldered and replaced the letters missing over his heart. Democracy! Finally! Demo remembered his name. The last time I knew the truth, I started playing a game on a scavenger hunt, led by some creepy guy named Ron, who pushed me down a rabbit hole, and then he was gone. A place moldy and dirty, dingy and dark. Then in one moment, I noticed a spark. A blue light from afar, but coming closer was a flame. Then I smelt pudding on the guy's fingers that brought me this shame. That sounds like racist Ron, her mother proclaimed. Yeah, that's the one who did it, Demo said. Racist Ron stole my name. But what can we do? His power's so strong. Demo says if you really believe that, you're very wrong. But before we confront him and tell him to go, let me teach you the basics you all must know. Mom and Dad, sit here. Come here, little one. Then he opened the curtains and let in the sun. What I'm going to teach you is key to always understand and remember me, democracy. Every day you swim in a sea called democracy. Democracy is made up of the three pillars of society: education, science, and art. A balance of the three gives us all a head start. Now sing it. Education, science, and art. Society's pillars in the greatest country in the world. The greatest country in the world. Hey, kid, too much? Asked Demo as everyone scattered. I see the same thing, Little Me said. Right now, that's all that matters. What about government? Can you lift that mask? You got it. I am so glad you asked. Now, when you look around, everything about me is in you, and you make what's great in me. 1, 2, 3, not only you and me, we all live in a sea of democracy. Got it, mind, body, soul, and the rules to control. Science, education, art are the true key parts. Uh, uh. Government provides society the gel, all the resource you will need to make life swell. Let's make a chart, line up all the same. This way you will know just who to blame. Ooh, artist note. As a free person, you own yourself, mind, body, and soul. The chart starts with you, a human system, mind, body, and soul. Next, your Constitution, a document designed to protect and preserve everything that makes life worth living. The Constitution guarantees life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. All laws are based on your Constitution and cannot conflict. Your Constitution is the law, no matter what your beliefs are. Stay within the lines of the law and you're safe. Now you need someone to enforce the laws consistently without fear nor favor, and to help guide you into the future. Your future is your pursuit of happiness. That's the role of government, to provide the gel, GEL, that makes my systems work smoothly. Judicial branch, executive branch, and legislative branch. And finally, the laws that follow are made to protect everyone the same. Your laws are the only thing that keeps you all from defrauding, stealing from, and killing each other. The laws interact with all sectors of society. Now, before I got away, I got a copy of their plans. Inside their scroll lies a map to the gems of all our land. They want to take away your rights to privacy, bodily autonomy, voting rights, your access to health care, your civil rights, freedom of the press, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and freedom of choice. The keys to keep you all free. The restrictive laws in the states are part of a system MAGA is piggybacking onto mine. It will eventually corrode me, and all for the pleasure of a small group of racists and pirates attacking me, your democracy. You have a pirate problem, I would say. So pirates and racists only want to make you obey. They write laws of when to wake or go to bed, and what kind of wisdom to put in your head. Just keep the laws that work, and get rid of the ones that don't. But don't expect the pirates and racists to fix them, because they won't. Instead, they'll keep on adding those laws, especially the ones that should give you pause. Remember, they will always give you a false pride, while they stoke and manipulate to create the divide. They'll keep doing it day after day until all of your rights and money have gone away. Then off they go into the dark, leaving everyone to wonder how they got these marks. You'll finally notice I haven't been around since the pirate circus invaded your town. But instead of letting them get away again, their story is unfinished, but this time we say how this is going to end. So that we will never again be apart, I'm going to tell you a story of how this all seemed to start. After World War II, my brother was conceived, but distrust and greed left few who believed in him. Chaos and grief broke his heart. Then a guy named Dick sold him for parts. They returned what was left to my mother to proceed, and out of the need for peace, she created me, with special powers for everyone tucked away behind what makes me tick. Then somebody handed me to that guy named Dick. He stole me away so no charges could stick, only to stick me on a train of stones and dirty political tricks. But when I finally escaped to the outside, a really nice farmer stopped and gave me a ride. His name was Jimmy, and he got me back home. And then good old Ronnie took me to places unknown. I've seen the world, even met my own kind, some of whom feel they've all been left behind. They told me to remind everyone that we are more powerful than any gun. We're at the heart of every beat, of every heart, and every thought. And in your natural state of freedom, you cannot be bought. Take my manual and read it through, so you can use me to fight the monster coming for all of you. The trinity of control: racism, classism, and sexism. They'll try to engage you with schemes that corrupt, for a game of cat and mouse that make tensions erupt. Until one day you'll look around in your state and in your town, searching for something that went away, and what it is you cannot say. But just look around and you will see what's gone missing is democracy. Yet I'm never far, I'm just being held back, probably by a pirate like the ones on the attack. As long as you keep your constitution intact, you can always beat racists and pirates back. Your constitution is above you and everyone in sight. And with that, I must bid you all a good night. I'm off to get more friends, but hold on to my manual till the end. Look inside, it has many ways to find peaceful solutions beyond the haze. Old school solutions that will make me last, and finally leave the hate in the past. But if you want to stop racists and pirates from stealing your gems, everyone must learn to swim in the sea of democracy, where we learn the most. But if we're going to take on pirates, I think we're going to need a bigger boat. And the journey continues in Little Me and Demo meet the monster racist system. Now, my little game. Ready to play?